Resolved, guns should have stricter laws for anyone who wants to buy or maintain a firearm. There are around 280 million guns in the U.S., and there are around 34 illegal murders a day. Weapons increase murder rates, decrease children's safety, and are too easy to attain. In 2011, there were 12,664 murders in America. 8,583 were with guns. Most suicides are done with firearms too. It will bring the number down if guns are limited to people. Around 70,000 Americans were injured with bullets last year. And guns hurt the economy because when a murder happens, then property value goes down. People in or around shootings are normally traumatized for life. The CDC reports that there are around 3,042 child deaths last year, almost equal to the amount of U.S. combat deaths in Iraq, and 4 times the amount of U.S. combat deaths in Afghanistan. There are around 17,523 children shot in 2007, and bullet wounds are the second highest killer of children, next to car crashes. Children deserve stricter laws due to the fact that there are 3 to 4 accidental fatal children shootings each week, because there are 1.7 unlocked and loaded weapons left out every day. Guns have become too easily accessible. More gun laws will keep guns out of the hands of children and children out of the line of fire. It will hopefully lower homicide and suicide rates.
My opponents have said that children's deaths are caused by bullets, but I disagree. Like, when they said and they stated that it's because of unlocked guns, that it's up to the parents to keep the guns locked up. It's really their decision if they want to lock the guns or not. And I've been to hunter safety before, and I know that it's always right to keep a gun locked. But like, if my parents had their guns unlocked, I would never go near them or touch them. And therefore, gun laws restrictions are unnecessary. Also, about tragedies, like, my opponent may say that tragedies are caused by gun shootings, but I disagree. Like, back in the movie theater in Colorado, people got shot, and making more gun restrictions may help that, but it may also not do anything good at all. Like, there's other ways to prevent shootings. Like, in movie theaters, add like metal detectors. Don't take away the guns. Therefore, gun laws should stay the same in the way they are.
According to the Bill of Rights, law-abiding citizens have the right to keep and bear arms. According to the Al Jazeera America, a gun control website, the murder rate increased 1.7% between 2011 and 2012. Between 2011 and 2012, that was when the gun laws became stricter. Criminals will always find a way to get their hands on a gun. That being said, then the good citizens will not have a weapon for protection. With law-abiding citizens carrying a weapon legally, there would be less deaths a year and criminals would think twice about committing a crime. People think the most commonly way criminals get guns is by stealing them, but it's not true. In fact, only 10 to 15% of gun crimes are by a stolen gun. In a recent study by the ATF agency, the most commonly way for criminals to get a gun is through a straw purchase sale. If you don't know what a straw purchase sale is, it is when someone who may not legally acquire a firearm or who wants to do so anonymously has a companion buy it on their behalf. The third most commonly way criminals get guns is something called the black market. The black market is an underground market for somebody with a prior criminal record. A law professor at New York College said, some criminals claim that it is easy to buy a gun on the street as it is to buy fast food. One Chicago gang member stated, it's like going through the drive-thru. Give me a Coke, some fries, and a 9mm. The Second Amendment states, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Taking away our very rights would violate the Founding Fathers. People think more gun laws would make gun violence go away, but it's not true. In fact, it would make it worse because the most law-abiding citizens would lose gun ownership, and that criminals will just pull their triggers all day. The most common reason why people want to have a gun is for protection. People who carry guns save other lives because people They kill a criminal before many more people die, and if that person wasn't allowed to carry a gun, there would be many more people dead. If a criminal had a plan to kill a person and he saw a man carrying a pistol, he'd be more likely to walk away from that man. You don't hear on the news mass shootings happening at National Rifle Association meetings, gun shows, gun ranges, because those people aren't allowed to carry guns there, and people do carry guns there. Criminals mainly target places that are more likely not to have a man carrying a gun. A gun violence expert named John R. Lott says, if you disarm the most law-abiding citizens, you see increases in violence relative to dropping gun ownership. Because the black market exists, the Second Amendment lets the law-abiding citizens carry guns for self-defense. So therefore, the group and I all agree on keeping the gun laws the same.
My opponent says that we do not need stricter gun laws, but I disagree. I believe that we do need stricter gun laws because, according to an article titled "Stronger Guns Will Save Lives," more than 30,000 Americans die every year from gunshot wounds. And based on my own research, roughly 10% of those people who are killed are children. Also, based on the same article, roughly 70,000 people are injured every year due to gunshot wounds. And it is unfair to any family to have to go through that kind of situation. Even though I am fortunate enough to never have been through something like this, I cannot imagine the pain and suffering that that family has to face. And also, I would like to say that the emotional aftermath that comes with that situation will always last a lifetime, and it is unfair to that family to have to face it. Therefore, we do need stricter gun laws for America.
My opponent says that with stricter gun laws, the law-abiding citizens would get their guns taken away. But we don't want to make the laws so strict that they get their guns taken away. We just want to make it so that people with mental illnesses don't get their hands on guns and shoot other people. And my teammates and I say that gun control laws should be stricter. Making gun control laws stricter would keep the murder rates down and help protect children from guns. There are 400,000 gun-related murders each year. In the U.S. alone, there are 30,000 gun-related murders each year, and another 70,000 people injured by the use of guns. Out of the 100,000 people injured/killed in America, 10,000 of them are under the age of 18. 3,000 kids are killed by gun wounds before they make it to the ER. And roughly another 6% die after arriving in the ER, according to a new study published in the journal Pediatrics. Another point I would like to make is that the background check system has failed. The background check system, designed by the Congress in 1993 to prohibit dangerous people from purchasing guns, is not working effectively. But with the enforcement of critical new regulations, the National Instant Criminal Background Check System could be an effective tool in preventing gun violence. 2 years ago, I had a neighbor, which I'm going to refer to him as JP. JP went after another neighbor with a gun and shot him, and he ended up getting wounded really bad. And then after he shot my neighbor, he turned and tried to shoot at the other neighbor's wife and daughter. After the incident, JP was found with diminished capacity. If background checks would have been stricter, they would have seen that JP had a history of violence towards others. So, if guns really keep us safe, then wouldn't the U.S. be the safest place on earth?
My opponent said that children get killed from gunshots, but if the parents of the children have guns in their house, then they could protect their children with the guns that they have. My teammates and I have stated that the Second Amendment states, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, have the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is meaning that people have the right to keep and bear arms with the proper permit. We have also stated on how the black market has affected us, on how it is very easy for criminals and others to get weapons as easy as it is to get fast food. Our team has also stated on how people have the right to defend themselves and others with them. Because in a time of need, people can get hurt or even killed. We have a good story to back up our debate. There's a person named Donald Martin that did an experiment on seeing on how long it would take for somebody to take an open gun for how long it could possibly be. So, the story is, yesterday I placed my shotgun on my front porch. I left it alone and went about my business. While I was gone, the mailman gave me my mail. The boy across the street picked up my yard, and a girl walked her dog down the street. And quite a few cars passed by my yard. I was gone for 10 hours, and after that time, I got back, and the shotgun was still laying there, untouched, unmoved. Do you believe on how surprised I was on the hype on how dangerous guns are? Either media is wrong and the killing is by people misusing guns, or I'm in the possession of the laziest gun in the world. We have explained why the gun laws should stay the same, and how it would be unfair to change the laws on how it is to something else. Therefore, my group and I support the side to keep the gun laws the same.
My opponents have stated that people kill people, pretty much, but I disagree. If you take away our guns because people kill people, then you might as well take away our sinks from a home, because that creates water and people drown in water. Or take away our fireplaces because people burn in fire. It's meaningless to add more laws for simple acts that criminals do. Plus, if you take away our guns, then the criminals will just go to the black markets and get them for free, pretty much. Also, there's over 270 million guns in America, and that's an average of 89 firearms to every 100 citizens. That means that many of us probably in here have a family member who has a weapon, and they don't misuse them most likely. And also, based on my life, my uncle, he moved to Arizona, and he had to buy firearms. Because in Arizona, there's like tons of things that could really injure your family. Like there's tons of rattlesnakes, and when I went down there, like we saw like this big like boar or something. It was some animal that was really big and could harm us. Therefore, taking away our weapons could possibly injure us and not just end lives, but and weapons don't end lives, but they also save our lives from others that might wish to harm us.
My opponent Noah has stated that guns don't kill people because people do. I agree with them. But just because I agree with that statement doesn't mean I am with their side. I agree that people do kill people, and that the only way to get guns out of their hands is to have stricter gun laws. I believe that we do need stricter gun laws because according to an article titled Stronger Gun Control Will Save Lives, the U.S. has the highest firearm deaths among the top 25 high-income nations. Also, according to the CIA, 2/3 of all murders are committed with guns. Also, according to the article titled Stronger Gun Control Will Save Lives, there are approximately 90 guns per 100 people. Are all those people really allowed to have those guns? If so, would we have had the Columbine or other shootings? Therefore, if we are able to enforce stricter laws and deeper background checks, we could all turn around the statistics and help keep our streets safer.